Well, are you ready to begin your Learn to Read adventure? This is Wally Amos, and today we start getting into the business of reading. But before I introduce you to Doris Biscoe, let me explain how the programs are arranged. Each program starts with a short review of the previous program. I hope you watch every program, but if you should happen to miss one, the review session will keep you from getting totally lost. After the review comes the letterman and his friends. He sets up the new material for the day. After the new lesson, we'll have other important information for you. Sometimes we'll tell you how to get additional help. Sometimes we'll have a writing lesson, and of course, there will be more and more things to read. That's kind of an outline for the series. Now here's Doris.
Hi, I'm Doris Biscoe. Welcome back to Learn to Read. We're constantly given directions to go in the right direction, to slow down or stop, or to take an alternate route, or to avoid something harmful. These directions most often come to us from silent helpers, signs. Signs on the highway, in a public building, crossing the street, in a grocery store. Many people take the signs they see every day for granted. But what if you can't read? Maybe you can read the familiar signs, but what about a sign like this? Ask attendant for key, or radioactive. If you are one of the millions of adults who has a reading problem, we hope you will stay with us for the next half hour to take part in an experiment. The experiment is showing you the basics for learning how to read in the privacy of your own home. Your classroom will consist of the television screen, a comfortable chair, pencil and paper. If you don't have anything to write with today, don't worry. Practice with your finger and write in the air or in the palm of your hand, whatever is the most comfortable. This is the first of 29 reading lessons you will be watching. During the next few weeks, it's our hope that you'll either improve your reading skills, or if you don't read at all, that you'll begin to read very quickly as you join us daily on Learn to Read. Learning to read sometimes causes feelings of fear and confusion, but reading also can bring feelings of joy, relaxation, and freedom. Millions of adults in America have trouble reading. The reasons are all real. Interruptions in school because of illness, the need to help support your family, or care for a sick parent. You might have moved a lot as a child, or you might have come to America from another country. The list is long and the reasons are all real. How much you can read is a very personal thing, and we respect that. Learn to Read hopes to give you an opportunity to improve your reading skills in your own personal surroundings. Adults lead busy lives filled with responsibilities for work, family, neighborly support, and church involvement. And by the end of the day, we're tired. To get up and go to school after a day's work right now might be impossible. In the future, it might be possible, but right now, maybe Learn to Read can help fill your reading gaps. Reading is a decoding process. Words are nothing more than a string of letters. You can read any word you can sound out. To do that, you must know the sounds of the letters. In other words, your eyes and ears can work together. As we go through each lesson, you will listen to sounds and see what the sounds look like. You will practice saying the sounds, writing them, and very soon, even today, you will join sounds together, making words. Join words together, and you will be making sentences. You will find that reading is a step-by-step process, like learning to walk or talk. There's really no mystery to it. It just takes gaining the skills and practicing the skills to break the code. When we come back, we start with M.
Hi there, Les the Letterman with a tip to make reading easier. Now when you see a word, could be a big word or a little word, just look at it real close and sound it out, letter by letter. Then go back and listen to yourself say it, sliding all of the letters together. Do it once more if you need to. And once you hear that word out loud, you're probably going to know what that word is, and that's reading. So just remember this little tip from the Letterman. See, say, hear, and read.
When you look at a word, just take it letter by letter. Sound it out, you'll understand it better. Just see it, say it, hear it, read it. Remember this rule whenever you need it. See, say, hear, read. Keep on trying, you're going to succeed. Just see, say, hear, read. The words will get easier, yes indeed. Just see, say, hear, read. See, say, hear, read. Just see, say, hear, and read.
Ready to learn how to read? Great. Let's start with the letter M. This is an M. M makes the sound you might say when you taste something delicious. Listen for the sound of M at the beginning of these words: mountain, mad, movie, milk, money, mellow. Mountain is your key word to help you remember the sound of M. Watch my mouth as I make the beginning sound in mountain. My lips are pressed firmly together. A delicious sound. Mountain. Practice writing the letter M with your finger. Left to right, draw two humps like mountains side by side. This word is man. Read the word. Man. What sound does man begin with? Man begins with the sound What letter does man begin with? Man begins with the letter M. This is the word mat. Read the word. Mat. What sound does mat begin with? Mat begins with the sound What letter does mat begin with? Mat begins with the letter M. Good. Let's try another sound. This is an S. S makes a hissing sound like a snake. S. Listen for the sound of S at the beginning of these words: snake, summer, sad, sail, sex, Sunday. Snake is your key word to help you remember the sound of S. Watch my mouth as I make the beginning sound in snake. My teeth are together. My lips are opened. I blow air through my teeth. Hissing sound. Snake. Practice writing the letter S with your finger. Watch the S on the screen. Make a snake for the letter S. This is the word sat. Read the word. Sat. What sound does sat begin with? Sat begins with the sound S. What letter does sat begin with? If you said the letter S, you're right. Let's look at this word. This is the word sap. Read the word. Sap. Sap begins with the sound S. Right. Sap begins with the sound S. It begins with the letter S. I'd like to introduce you to a cat named Sam. When we spell someone's name, the first letter is always a capital letter. It makes the same sound, but it looks a little different. S, capital S, Sam. Here's another sound. This is a P. P makes a popping sound. P, p, p. Listen for the sound of P at the beginning of these words: pop, purple, pen, paycheck, pool, pain pill. Pop is your key word to help you remember the sound of P. Look at my mouth again as I make the beginning sound in pop. My lips are closed, then I force them open with a small explosion of air. P, p, a popping sound. With your finger, practice writing the letter P. Watch the screen. Trace with your finger down, then attach a half circle to the right side of the line. P. This is the word pan. Read the word. Pan. Pan begins with the sound P. What letter does pan begin with? If you said P, you're right once more. This is the word pat. Read the word. Pat. Pat begins with the sound P. What letter makes the sound P? Correct. P makes the sound P. Now you just met Sam a few moments ago. This is Pat. When we talk about an interesting lady, Pat, her name looks like this. When I say, give him a pat on the back, Pat looks like this. Pat, Pat. Pat on the back, interesting lady Pat. When Pat is used as a name, the P becomes a capital P. This is an F. F makes the sound we hear in the word fire. Fire. Listen for the sound of F at the beginning of these words. Fire, finger, 5, factory, fat, fear. Fire is your keyword to help you remember the sound of F. Watch my mouth as I make the beginning sound in fire. My teeth are touching my lower lip. I'm blowing air through my teeth. Fire. Fire. Follow the shape of F on the screen with your finger. This word is fan. Read the word. Fan. What does fan begin with? That's right. Fan begins with F. What letter does fan begin with? Yes, fan begins with the letter F. This is the word fat. Read the word. Fat. What sound does fat begin with? Of course, fat begins with F. The sound F is for the letter F. We're doing great. Now let's try the letter T. T. This is a T. T looks a lot like a telephone pole. T, t. Listen for the sound of T at the beginning of these words. Telephone pole, tent, television, tall, toot, turn. Telephone pole is your keyword to help you remember the sound of T. Watch my mouth as I make the beginning sound in telephone pole. My tongue pushes against the back of my upper teeth. As with P, I let out a small explosion of air. T, t, telephone. T, t, telephone pole. Practice making a T. It looks like a telephone pole. One line down and one across. This is the word tan. Read the word. Tan. Read the word again. Tan. What sound does tan begin with? Right, it begins with the sound T. What letter makes the sound T? Right, T makes the sound T. This is the word tap. Read the word. Tap. Tap begins with what kind of sound? If you said T, you're right. Tap begins with the letter T. Great. Let's review the sounds we've learned so far. And remember your key words. Make the sound of each letter with me. Mountain. Snake. P, p, pop. Fire. Telephone pole. Now, let's make s, p, t work for us in making words. But first we need an A. In a minute you'll understand why. Let me show you what happens when the letter A joins with the letters you've learned today. This is an A. A can have more than one sound. Listen. Ah. Ah is the sound A makes in our lesson today. Let's practice writing the letter A with your finger. Draw a half circle and then a line to close the opening. A. This is the word an. When we add to an, we have man. When we add t to an, we have tan. When we add to an, we have fan. When we add p to an, we have pan. Now practice with me. An, man. An, tan. An, fan. An, pan. Now this is at. Listen. At. When we add to at, we have fat. To at, mat. S to at, sat. P to at, pat. Let's read the words we've made once again. An, man. An, tan. An, fan. An, pan. At, fat. At, mat. At, sat. At, pat. Now here's another A sound. Let's add to app, map. That's good. Let's practice some words. App, sap. App, tap. App, map. This word is the. Now close your eyes and picture the word in your mind. Can you see the word? Open your eyes and look at the word again. What's the word? Correct. The word is the. Let's use this word to begin to make a sentence. Remember this word? At, fat. Look, the fat. Here's another. An, pan. The pan. Man. 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 The man. An, tan. The tan. The fat. The pan. The man. The tan. The tan man. The fat man. Remember this letter? A? Well, it's also used as a word. We can use A to begin to make sentences. Practice reading with me. A fan. A pan. The man. A nap. The tan man. A fat cat. The man sat. Good, you're reading. Let's get ready for our next set of sentences. Here we go. Pat sat. Sam sat. The fat cat sat. Great. Now try these sentences with me. Tap the map. Tap the pan. Tap the fat tan man. Okay, you're really reading sentences now. Let's take a moment to learn another important word. The word is. Look at the word and close your eyes. Try to picture is in your mind. Can you see it? Open your eyes and look again. What's the word? That's right, is. Practice reading these sentences with me. The man is tan. The cat is fat. Sam is the cat. Now you have the hang of it. Learning to read is a step-by-step process, just like any other skill you've learned throughout your life. There's really no mystery to it. If you walk through the steps with me one by one and practice as you go, you'll see what I mean. Tomorrow, we'll practice more sounds made by the letters in the alphabet. We'll combine those sounds with other letters to make more words. And we'll practice reading those words. We'll practice reading more sentences, too. And it won't be long before you can read simple stories. You may think some of the words we learn are kid stuff, but this is the way everyone learns, so hang on. Always remember to have a pen or pencil ready and some paper. If you can't get pencil or paper, just keep tracing with your fingers on the screen. By practicing writing the letters while you learn their sounds, you will increase your memory power and reading will become even easier.
I was sitting by myself feeling real brought down, 'cause I couldn't bring to mind any short vowel sounds. So I turned on the tube and I tried to forget while I watched these two guys singing this here duet.
When you think about the short sounds, you'll have lots of luck when you see a hot pig on a flatbed truck.
You see, hot has the sound of the short vowel O, and pig has the sound of the short vowel I, and flat has the sound of the short vowel A, and bed has the sound of the short vowel E, while truck has the sound of the short vowel U. I'm telling you things that I know to be true.
When you think about the short sounds, you'll have lots of luck when you see a hot pig on a flatbed truck.
Working on an assembly line, you don't get credit for concept or design or how fast the vehicle travels or maybe even the way it handles in a safety test. But it's honest work and you take pride in what you do. Many of you can read substantially, perhaps even up to a high school level. But some of you managed to graduate from high school one way or the other without learning to read. When some of you came into a plant like this one, you may have discovered a whole new working vocabulary. Words that are going to be used only in connection with your employment and you never used before on the outside. Now, if you don't learn to recognize and understand them, you could be holding yourself back in your work career and maybe even taking some serious risks. This automotive firm encourages its workers to become a part of the company's greater picture. In-plant TV monitors and an electronic bulletin board provide constant worldwide updates, plus local news of important people visiting the plant. Smaller bulletin boards carry more personal messages like anniversary congratulations, shift changes, or meeting notices. But you'll miss them all, the business information as well as the personal pleasures, if you can't read well enough to understand them. And if you can't read the job postings or learn the requirements for that job, you're missing the chance to move up in the company. Many employees find that their union membership and work go hand in hand. When you become a part of the union, part of your salary goes to pay for union dues, for education and recreation. But if you can't read, you won't be able to enjoy what you've paid for. You won't be able to read and understand the issues that the union is promoting. Like I mentioned before, when you first came into a plant like this, you discovered a whole new vocabulary pertaining to your job. Here, management puts up signs and warnings to help protect you, but you're not protected at all if you can't read.
Now let's review some of the key words. Restricted area, authorized personnel only. Caution, safety glasses must be worn at all times beyond these doors. Danger, unauthorized personnel keep out. Flammable, keep fire away. No smoking, and you can certainly understand why. Certain plants offer free reading classes for their employees. If something like this is available to you, take advantage of it. You may find that you'll be more valuable to your employer and yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bruce Jenner. You know, training for the Olympic Games and then going to Montreal and winning was really quite an experience. But what a lot of people don't know is I grew up with a learning disability. I had a very difficult time learning how to read. The biggest fear of my life was to have to read in front of the class. You know, there's so many young people out there who do have a learning disability, and I really want to encourage them to work hard because who knows, there might be a lot more Olympic champions out there right now. Good luck to you.
Anything new takes some practice. So make sure to go over the key words we talked about today: mountain, snake, pop, fire, and telephone pole. There's more where those came from. Find out tomorrow when we continue to learn to read.
You have just finished viewing the first instructional program of the Learn to Read television series. I hope you are beginning to understand what we're doing. I'm Wally Amos, and I want to encourage you to watch all the programs in this series. Now, you might think a lot of the reading you did in this lesson seems silly and childish, but you know what? A concert pianist must undertake hours and hours of finger exercises every day of the year just to keep fingers, eyes, ears, and mind sharp. That pianist must practice these exercises over and over again. No matter how accomplished a musician becomes, finger exercises are a part of that life. What we have done in this lesson is much the same. Finger exercises for reading. You'll find that if you practice these words and word parts, your reading skills will improve. The flow, the rhythm, the music of our language will become more natural to you. As time goes on, we'll be doing things to make learning to read more interesting to you. That's all for this lesson. But before we go, I'd like to show you once again a sign you saw earlier in this lesson. Ask attendant for keys. I'm that attendant, and the keys I have to give you will unlock a whole new world for you. The world of words, sentences, and paragraphs. The world of reading. I'll see you next time.